Good morning, my friends. Please enjoy my stories or whatever else might be on my mind today. Well, I've been lazy this week. Not lazy, lazy with regard to turning on my camera for YouTube. We've finished up the salitre. We've done a lot of painting inside the house and outside. And in order to keep Juan employed a little longer, we decided to do a couple of more things. We've done the main roof of the house. Before it was just this new living room and older casita part. We've done the roof of the Quattromoto garage, that bodega out there by the carport. And I've been helping. So I haven't been lazy, but I haven't turned on my camera to document this stuff all week. The other thing I've been doing this week is going to YouTube University about building a camper van. I've decided I need a new project. I'm shopping for a used Ram ProMaster, and I want to build it out as a camper van. I love my 40-foot Monaco Windsor diesel pusher, but there are a lot of places I can't go with it. Lynn says, hey, there's a Starbucks. I can't pull into the parking lot. With this, I certainly could. I can't go fishing at a little lake and stay overnight. I first thought about this at this particular spot. It's in Joshua Tree National Park, and I just love this spot. And I started thinking about a smaller camper van. It's not my first rodeo building vans. I'll insert a picture here of the first one I actually built out. I've had a lot of vans. In the 1960s, my first wife Carol and I and 4 little dogs spent 3 months traveling 15,000 miles in this Volkswagen camper. Started out in Santa Barbara, California, went to Missouri, the Ozarks, up to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, back to Denver, Colorado, and followed the Rocky Mountains all the way into Canada to Banff and Jasper, back to the Pacific Ocean, all the way down the coast to Santa Barbara. After those 15,000 miles, we got a divorce. In the 70s, I bought a brand new Dodge van, only new vehicle I've ever purchased. Lynn and I converted it into a camper. The first thing I did when I got it home was cut that big hole in the side for the bay window, and my thought at the time was, wow, now I ruined my new van. All I have to do is fix it back up. It had gray wolf fur on all the walls inside. Now, remember, this was the 70s. Red shag carpet on 2 inches of foam on the floor. Our little kids slept on the floor, and I made a couch that converted to a bed where Lynn and I slept. We spent a lot of time traveling and camping in that van. Later, I converted it to the Bat Van, and I was privileged in 1980 to be part of the opening ceremony for the preview of The Empire Strikes Back in Beaverton, Oregon. We loaded all of the Star Wars characters from the bar in the van. I had Princess Leia sitting on the engine cover and Chewbacca sitting on the floor leaning up against it and all of those other weird characters. We arrived at the circular driveway, unloaded those characters, and a helicopter flew in and Darth Vader got out. It was amazing. Most of the 1980s was boating, and every one of those boats had some custom thing built by me. I hate wasted space in anything, whether it's a boat, a house, or a camper van. In the 1990s, I got this, and it too has a bed in the back. And of course, you recognize that if you're one of my regular viewers. I'm still driving it. It's a 1994. I drove it this morning. I did a lot of custom mods in this Southwind, including converting the bedroom into my personal office. We did 3 trips from Oregon to Mexico in that, and then it sat here in my yard in Mexico for years and years before we moved it to Rapid City. We sold the old Southwind when I bought this in 2016, and if you followed me, you know all of the custom mods I've done to that. It's fully self-contained, lithium, solar, diesel heaters, hydronic heating system, custom cabinets, and I did it all myself. So what do you think about me building a van? I built this bathroom. I built this bedroom, the shelves. I built that door from scratch. I built this bathroom. I built that chair. I built this shelf out of the bloom pods from our palm trees. That's Lynn's braids hanging there from when her hair was long. I repurposed this Singer sewing machine. I built this Murphy bed, and I built this as my file cabinet. And I built all of these things from raw lumber. Yeah, I think I could build a van. I've got the skills, I've got the tools, I've got the time. I probably have the money, but I have a lot of things that could be potentially expensive in a van build. Because of my YouTube channel, I've got things I've reviewed. 12-volt refrigerators, power supplies, solar panels, water purifiers. I've got things that could go into a very, very nice build in a van. And I am inspired by some of the things I've seen on YouTube that other people have done. Copying is the sincerest form of flattery. Well, what else? Well, I have a product review coming on Wednesday. It's I had a company offer to send me a shirt. And I looked at all of their shirts and I picked one and said, yes, I'll take a look at that. The same company had contacted me 7 or 8 months ago and said, hey, we'd like to have you model our clothes. And I'm almost 80 years old. I think my modeling days are over. Actually, I used to have an agent when I lived in Los Angeles, Orange County, actually. We lived in Westminster, Stanton, Buena Park, Buellton, Santa Ana. Every time the rent was due, we had to move. It was a long time ago. That was Lynn and I. And I had an agent, and we weren't there. We were back east, and I got a call to come and do a green stamp catalog as a model. Now, you have to be as old as me to remember green stamp catalogs, but anyway, that was my first invitation to be in the modeling business. Later, actually, I've got those stories reversed chronologically. My first wife was a park ranger in the Grand Tetons. And I was sitting in the bar one night, talking to a guy next to me at the next stool, and he was part of the advance team coming into town to do a show for the Bronson TV series. This would have been 1969. Anyway, he was saying he was looking for somebody to make some rustic furniture. And I said, well, I can do that. I can build anything. So he told me to show up at 8 o'clock the next morning at the set, which was a ranch there in the Jackson Hole. I showed up the next morning, right on time, and was told that I couldn't go to work. I'd been terminated, fired. The deal was that the union that hires people who build stage scenery and movie sets, the union had found out about what was going on. And the guy told me, hey, sorry, they're flying a guy in from Casper who's in the union to do the work. So I was actually in the movie television production business for almost 12 hours. Then I had another foray into the business. I got an agent when we moved to Portland, Oregon, and I went to 100 cattle calls. A cattle call is when you go to audition for a part. And I never got anything. And finally, the agent gave me a gimme. It was a commercial for Fred Meyer's, the grocery store chain. But Fred Meyer's had their own full-time spokesperson. So my job in this commercial was to be way down the aisle as a guy who looked at a table saw and picked up the saw guard and set it down quietly, and my directions were, don't make a sound. Well, since I never got a speaking part, I never got a SAG card, but I made $120 for 10 minutes of work, not counting waiting around for it to start. And my agent took some. I wound up with $80. So as a actor, I've made $80. That's my lifetime earnings as an actor. Anyway, check in Wednesday to see me in a shirt other than a t-shirt. Thanks for reminiscing with me today. Have a good week. See you on Wednesday, and maybe, I've been thinking about going for a ride with my dash cam around Ajijic, Mexico. It's been a while since I did that, and I think I promised to do it a month or so ago when I got my van fixed, but yeah, it's time. See you soon. Hey, if you like me, give me one of those thumbs up. And please subscribe and hit that little bell so you know when I post next. Please share me with your friends on social media. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed what was on my mind today.